So you only exist when your spirit body permanently disconnects from the human body. You're no longer alive, right? So the spirit energy is everything. That's what I'm saying. Live in the spirit within, not within the physical within. And think more of it yourself as a spiritual person, not a physical person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the physical needs are so important, right? Very scary for me, and it was transformational because I lost use of the temporary use of my arms and my legs.
Oh, wow.
My body went into shock. So I was in and out of hospital for weeks. So you only exist when your spirit body permanently disconnects from the human body. You're no longer alive, right? So the spirit energy is everything. That's what I'm saying. Live in the spirit within, not within the physical within. And think more of it yourself as a spiritual person, not a physical person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the physical needs are so important, right?
Hi guys, my name is Harry and welcome to A Seed of Wisdom podcast. Now today, I'm honored to have my guest here, Michael Stratfold. I hope it's perfectly pronounced.
Yes, that's fine.
He is a figure in my life who has helped me in times when I need help physically or mentally or emotionally in a way where not many people could understand. What do you want to explain them or help them or need help from them, right? Michael does a lot of things energetically. He will introduce himself anyway. He will explain what he does. And so yeah, today's podcast would be interesting for a lot of people who know about healing, who know about herbs and energy, and more over like holistic health. And so yeah, I would like to introduce Michael. If you can please give us your little introduction, who you are, what you do, and where you're from, just a little background.
I would love to, Harry, and thanks so much for the opportunity to speak today. So I'm honored. So I'll just go back and explain where I've come from and how I got to where I am today.
Yes.
So in 2016, I was living in Sydney. It was late 2016, and when I was 21, I actually had a very bad car accident. So I always had neck problems. So I was always seeing chiropractors on a regular basis.
Yes.
So this one particular very large Dutch lady, she over manipulated my neck.
Yeah.
And then after that, what actually occurred was very scary for me, and it was transformational because I lost use of the temporary use of my arms and my legs.
Oh, wow.
My body went into shock. So I was in and out of hospital for weeks. But then what occurred is the doctors gave me medications, and the hospital gave me medications, and they should never have given me certain medications that interacted with each other, right? So that basically poisoned my body, and my kidneys shut down, and I had blood in my urine. And my whole body system shut down, and I passed away.
Oh, wow.
So then it was late one evening in October, and I'd called the ambulance, and I was at my house. It was just after midnight, and I was going to go to hospital, but my daughter was in my house at the time. So then I basically collapsed on the ground, and I left my body. I passed away, right? And then I went up to the light, and then I basically had a conversation with God, who was not Jesus, but also saw Jesus. And then when I came back into my body, I was out of my body for about half an hour, and then I came back. And then some really magical, not magical. I still had the pain and the physical pain, but then I could basically sort of walk again and use my arms, right? So, and then about 2 weeks after that, I had what I can only describe as a USB plugged into my brain. for about 8 weeks. I didn't really sleep much for about 8 weeks. So some people when they come back to life can play the piano, for example. Some can speak 3 languages. I was given eternal knowledge. So I'm a bit like a walking encyclopedia. And
Right.
I'm just trying to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward to today. So before then, see, I've got so many qualifications, right? So across management and hospitality and more, right? And across corporate training and you name it, I've got the qualifications. And I used to work for big multinational companies in Sydney, but now I spend the time to help people energetically. I help them with healing, not just with herb law, but also with energy and with other things that I can teach them, which is why I built my online course, which I'll extrapolate and explain later. So I thought today we'd talk about maybe physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual matters that concern people, because as I know, there's so many people unwell, and so many people struggling with so many issues, not just financial, but spiritual, emotional issues as well. So I feel it's imperative and important to get this information out to people so they can start to help themselves in all ways, in all manners, if that makes sense. So. And it doesn't take, it doesn't take 5 minutes. It hasn't taken me 5 minutes, right? It's taken me 9 years. But in those 9 years, I've helped so many people over many years. I've healed thousands of bees off the beach with my energy. I remember this bird actually that flew into my window. This was a few years ago, and it snapped its neck and it couldn't fly. And then I gave it energy and gave it like mega energy around its neck. And then it sat in my hand beautifully for sort of 20 minutes, and I sort of nurtured the bird, and then it flew away, right? So that's the sort of stuff you can do with energy.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk, I'll come back to energy in a minute, but I'll just talk about physical things. So physical beings. I've lost about 14 kilos over 9 years. I used to be quite a larger person, and I just know that a lot of people carry too much weight. This is often caused by actually, because probably 50-60% of the population have parasites in them. Yeah, and people need to extract those parasites from them, because the parasites feed off of our food that we feed ourselves, right? So, and then they can grow. First, they start out in your stomach, and then they can move to your liver, to different organs, and eventually they can end up in your brain. Because what happens physically is your liver processes toxins, and then your brain is the secondary processor of toxins. This is why, for example, during the pubescent period is when the body has come into a stage of being able to detox itself. This is why I see all these people come out with pimples and stuff, because that is the extraction of toxins that's coming out from their brain space, which means they're full of toxins.
Right.
So now we have, fast forward to now, to today, since what actually happened, and most people know it happened in 2019, 2020, which is what happened with the global, pandemic and all the ensuing things that evolved from there. And now, 5 years later, we have all these people that are lining up for hospitals and just going to see doctors, and they don't know how to help themselves, not just with parasites, but with heavy metals and other things that are now inside their bodies, and they need to come out.
Is it like, because I know a lot of people are ending up with blood clots in their hearts and arteries,
Yeah.
and the young ones.
Yes.
It's not even like older people, yes, we know, but
Yes.
25, 26, 27, 30.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and I'll come back to that as well, because first I'll just go through the brain cleansing process, and then I'll talk about blood cleansing process. And these are physical things. But what people should realize is you have to live in the spiritual body within the physical. Yeah. So you shouldn't view yourself as a physical person. You view yourself as a spiritual person. And that's a lifestyle that I lead. It's not like it's a 5-minute thing that happens. It's a lifestyle choice as to how people choose to live.
Also, I wanted to add, like, whatever Michael is going to talk about, you can do your own research before you take anything on board. He's only saying that because he does it every day and he helps people, but you do your own research. This is not any medical advice from him. He's just telling you what he has learned. And this way, Michael, you can talk to Michael. He can, like, I'll put all his links down in the description, but you can do your own research and take a medical advice before you start any processes if he's gonna say anything or explain you with any herbs or any elixirs or anything that he recommends. So please.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, Harry. So essentially, our brain is like a conduit for energy.
Yes.
Because we need, there are electrons and there are the neurons in our brain, right? And so you need the electricity in your brain to recall thoughts. So a lot of people with dementia and with other brain or nervous system disorders or immune system have not enough energy in their bodies, right? So when I started sungazing 2016, I started sungazing because, again, I was given the knowledge. I learned that I could look at the sun. And I started with 10 seconds of sungazing. Then I built up to, after a year and a half of doing early morning sungazing, when I was about, so you look through one eye for 10 seconds and then you look through the other eye like through a triangle. But the Illuminati actually stole the triangle, right? Because it's been around for hundreds of thousands of years. And that's why, again, you have the Aboriginals that painted a hand in their hand paintings in their caves, and you see a hand and you see a circle around it. That's the circle is the sun and the hand is in the middle. So when you put your hand or your feet up to the sun, you're going to get energy in your hands and your feet as well, which is something also I teach people in my online course. So with the energy, it sits in your spirit body and your nervous system. So I'm just not nervous at all, right? I just feel super relaxed all the time because I've got like a lot of energy within me, right? So, but you have to replenish it again every morning, because if you don't replenish it, you lose the energy. If you don't know how to replenish it, that is also significant. So coming back to the brain with the neurons and the electrons, when you have more electricity in your body, it means that more neurons start to connect in your brain, which means that most people only actually use probably 25% of their brain capacity. Whereas for myself now, and I'm not, again, when I say these things, I'm not trying to be, boastful or anything like this. I'm just trying to tell it as a factual thing. So because of all that sungazing, and I don't need to sungaze anymore because I'm reacting to everything now electrical in my house. But with the energy, it means that I'm basically using most of my brain capacity. Which means that I can recall things when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I can recall my teachers' names from school, right? I can. You can pull down other information. You also learn things far more quickly when, for example, I pick up a book, or when you ask to learn things, then that knowledge comes to me. So there are certain ways of doing things that with your brain. So that's why, for example, Tesla was so intelligent in what he learned about energy and what other people need to learn about energy, because you only pass away when your north or south pole of your energy dissipates. So with so much energy, it's very possible to live past the locked lifespan of 120 years. It also means that your age slows down, the aging process slows down, because, for example, when you become, eventually my head will light up like a light bulb, which means you come off the light. When I travel from, let's say Brisbane to Sydney by car, it takes 11 hours, right? 12 hours. When I travel by plane, you go much faster. It takes 1.75 hours. But if I travel at the speed of light, time has stopped. So when you in turn become, or anyone becomes off the light, then essentially the aging process has stopped, right? So when I'm 100 years old, I'm almost 60, by the way, and when I'm 100 or 150 years old, I'll still look about the same, because I do all the right herbs to maintain my body. I do all the right things to maintain my body system. And if people follow what I do, then this will also help them in turn, right? So let's just come back to the physical with things, best things for your brain. So your body needs good cholesterol, right? I'm actually technically a pescatarian, which means I eat fish and seafood, right? So the highest thing in good cholesterol is actually calamari. And it's amazing now when I eat some calamari. I probably eat calamari probably once a week. That's enough, twice a week, whatever. I've also fish, like body fish is good, right? Small fish, so it doesn't have the mercury like the big tuna and things like this, right? And the big swordfish, the fish are too big.
So what fish do you reckon has high quantity of mercury at the moment?
Tuna has a lot of mercury. Swordfish, it's all your migratory fish that travel in the streams, and they travel all around, and they eat so many fish and live for more than sort of 2, 3, 4 years. Whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're going to accumulate more mercury from the smaller fish that they eat. Whereas if, for example, you eat sardines or you eat a fish no bigger than a salmon, and you eat local fish that's from cleaner waters, then you're going to be pretty much guaranteed that they'll have far less heavy metals or toxins, or in fact mercury in their bodies. But I'll talk about mercury and extraction of heavy metals in a sec. But first, just come back to the brain space. So you need calamari, because that's the highest in good cholesterol for your brain to function well. You also need lion's mane, which is lion's mane mushroom, or you can have it as a lion's mane extract.
Yes.
And also actually walnuts. Because again, and the other one is cauliflower. You see, Lord God of the light was most intelligent because he has designed things that assimilate and look like what it relates to in your body, right? So the lion's mane mushroom looks exactly like a human brain. Same with a walnut; it's the same shape as a human brain.
Yeah.
It's the same with cauliflower; it looks a bit like a human brain, right, in its form. So it's critical that people comprehend what good things they can consume and what things they should not consume. Which some humans get confused with, right? Because you have all these people now talking about, yes, I'm going to eat, just a totally carnivore diet, or they're just going to eat a vegan diet, for example. And what I learned is that fish oil, okay, most people's body temperature sits at between 37 to, so let's say 40 degrees at the maximum. Mine probably sits a bit higher than that, 42 degrees, something like this, probably a bit higher because of my energy, because with energy comes heat, right? So basically with that sort of energy and with that in mind, then I worked out that oils and the temperature of the oils are extremely significant. So when you look at something like beef, for example, beef fat melts at 45 to 50 degrees, which is actually too high, so it stays solid in your body, right? But fish oil, no, it melts, right, in your body. It's liquid. Same with coconut oil. It melts at 22 degrees, right? Chicken fat melts at about 31, 32 degrees. So all those oils are great for us. Just like walnut oil is good for us. Just like castor oil is good for us.
Yes.
Because and macadamia oil, they're at room temperature, right? So they're liquid in our bodies. Just as you were saying before about people having blood clots.
Yes.
So I've talked about the brain. Let's talk about the blood. So blood is so significant. You've got your red blood cells. You've got your white blood cells.
Yes.
Your red blood cells actually need iron, because in the middle of every single red blood cell is the element iron. So we need iron, just like we need the 12 elements from the earth, which is iron, phosphorus, magnesium, selenium, zinc, copper, you name it. But we need trace elements of those, right, to sustain ourselves. And often the food is not always adequate. So I do take like a powdered vitamin every day, and so certain vitamins which I can explain to people. So with the blood, the highest thing in good iron is not actually from meat at all, right? It's just not. It's actually from herbs, and the highest thing in good iron is actually sarsaparilla root by far.
Which one?
Sarsaparilla root.
Okay.
Tea.
What is that?
Sarsaparilla root, it comes from the sarsaparilla plant. It's just like the sarsaparilla drink without the sugar in it, right? So you, when I list off a combination, but people need high levels of vitamin C with that, so your body actually absorbs it, right? So you absorb the iron. So with your red blood as well, and the white blood. You see, what's happening is those blood clots are caused by the white blood cells sticking together. That is mainly caused by what I understand is nanobots and other things that should not be inside humans, but it is as a consequence. So to extract these, you're going to need things like coriander. You're going to need coriander seeds. You're going to need mustard seeds, and you swallow these whole. You don't, and only need small quantities. You also need red clover tea for your blood. You also need cayenne pepper. What cayenne pepper does, you see, you got these people on warfarin or aspirin. See, aspirin can destroy the lining of your stomach or your esophagus. Actually, aspirin is not something I'd recommend. But if people want to do that, they can. But to thin your blood beautifully, you can use hibiscus tea, hawthorn tea, but you can also use cayenne pepper. Because cayenne pepper actually strengthens the blood vessel walls, but it also thins the blood beautifully. And most people can't handle chili, but I probably eat, those little red hot chilies. I probably eat one of those a day, right? Just in my food and in other things, right? So red chili is so significant with keep the blood flowing.
And also, I don't know if you know, like they make a shot with lemon, olive oil, cayenne pepper, and what's the other one? Or maybe that's it.
You could use apple cider vinegar as well. So a few things, yes.
So like those empty stomach, and it helps the cayenne pepper to open the blood cells and clear the blood.
But you just have to watch for the enamel in your teeth, because the lemon juice is so powerful that you can just sort of make sure you rinse your mouth out afterwards, because otherwise you can get into trouble, because the acid is quite strong with the lemon juice.
Same with the apple cider vinegar too.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong.
It's the same.
Yeah,
but you guys got to be aware of those things just for your mouth.
Yeah.
Whereas good things, for example, is a lot of people are now doing the coconut oil pulling for their mouth. So you put like half a soup spoon, say, for example, of coconut oil in their mouths, and they just swish it around for 10 minutes a day, and that's really beneficial. It's also good for antibacterial reasons as well to do that.
Right.
So but the best things in terms of antibacterial, the highest thing, the best antiseptic in the world is actually oregano oil.
Yeah, give me one sec. Oh, pick this up, because I think connecting to your beard.
Thanks, Harry.
Start from oregano oil.
So with the oregano oil, there's two types. You got the pressed pure with virgin or oregano oil, which is non-essential. It's not distilled, and you can basically consume a teaspoon of that, right? But you don't want a lot because it's so powerful. But you could mix that or just have that and then have a glass of water with that, for example. You can also use essential oregano oil as like to cleanse the lungs, for example, if people got some lung issues. And you'd put, say, for example, only 1 drop of distilled, which is the essential oil of oregano, as compared to the virgin oregano oil, which you could consume. You shouldn't consume essential oils really internally because they're so strong, right? If you did, you'd only need like 1 drop of oregano oil in a whole glass of water, because the distilled oregano is so powerful, right? It's so strong. Yeah, it's going to burn you, right? So, and the other thing is so good for antiseptics and to cleanse the body is actually propolis, which is an extract from the bees.
Okay.
And that is extremely powerful. Yeah. And I can give you some to try later today, because I've got some here with me today. So,
but by the way, I always get some sort of elixirs whenever I visit him. I just got one today. What was in that elixir?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my vitamins I drink in the morning, right?
So what's in it?
So that is, it's essentially it's Arbonne pea protein shake, which has got 27 vitamins in it. So I always get my vitamins every day. It's got spirulina in it. It's got inulin, which is amazing for your bones. And I also put some moringa powder in there as well, right? So you're getting so many good things, right?
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
So and some pure cocoa.
Yes, that's
And
what
the
I.
reason why cocoa is so good is because it's got so cocoa as compared to cacao. Pure cocoa's got 22% iron in it.
Mm.
Cacao's got 11% iron in it. So that in itself is amazing. But what it does, cacao and cocoa, it releases the stem cells from your bone marrow, right? So cacao, just have that little bit of cacao in that shot every morning, just with some coconut milk, or you can do it with water. It tastes nicer with coconut milk. And then I just feel, probably 3 days out of 7, I don't eat till like midday because I don't need the food because I've got so much energy. You actually eat a lot less, which is why it's easier to lose weight, but also, or just to maintain my body shape. And then also to have those vitamins means you're not always obligated to get so many vitamins from so many different food groups, right?
Yes.
So that will set a person up for the day. So, so every as I said, it's a lifestyle about what I do, right? So, but what I also learned is the ancients. It's called the circadian sleep cycle, right? And this is alluded to because I've also studied all major religions. I've studied, the Quran. I've studied the Bible. I've studied 3 different Bibles actually. I've studied some other ancient texts and more, right? I've studied the Jewish and other religions. So what you do is when you learn across other religions, but also when you learn, see, I've studied cookbooks, I've studied fractal field technologies, I've studied all massage techniques, I've had singing lessons for 12 years. I know how to cut gems. Do you know what I mean? I've done, I can do a lot of things.
Just give me a sec. Yeah, good. Last time you stopped while you were recording.
So people should never limit themselves to, for example, being, a painter or a builder. They should, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they should branch out to learn more things and become what I call a divergent person, which means you see things that you wouldn't normally see if you study a lot in certain different areas, right? Because then it opens up different opportunities for people. But again, coming back to the health of humans, it's more than just the vitamins in the morning, right? It's as I said, you see, you've got these people. I see them, with their their energy pulsing machines. I see them with the infrared and these machines and the crystals they wave around themselves. And I can actually teach people how to charge a crystal too, properly, by the way. But you see, that's not going to manifest necessarily a lot of energy. You need from electrical devices, right? Because that's not the right frequency. Just like smoke alarms is not the right frequency for humans. Just like the iPhones we use is not the right frequency for humans. The right frequency for humans is the sun, is the moon, is the earth, and the stars, which comes back to our star signs, because we have to come back to our star signs. And I'm basically an Aquarian, which is the age of Aquarius.
I know you can talk a lot about a lot of things, but I think I'm going to bring you back to, for everyday people who don't know much about energy, frequency, things like we know.
Yes.
How can they optimize their health with everyday routine? What they should do that they come back and regulate the nervous system and feel grounded, and what things they should add in their diet and take it off from the diet that is affecting them mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yes. Well, I got some great news for you, Harry. And I completed this about 3 years ago. I built a online supernatural enlightenment course. It's 23 hours of videos on physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, transcendental, and enlightenment, right? It cost me a lot of money to build those 23 hours of practical videos that people can just take away. It's like talking to me for 2 weeks, right? It's just all that information's there, and I can only say so much today, but I will summarize some of those things if people prefer to help them even today.
Yeah, because I can put that course and the link in the bio and stuff, because then people can go there,
Right.
reach out. But we can talk about it at the end of the podcast.
Absolutely.
So if we can give them the little tips how they can optimize their health.
Of course. So to stay healthy, I would just basically, it means you need to spend at least a half an hour outside every day.
Right.
Because I'll put it bluntly, people are so busy trying to survive financially that they go from their house. Let's say they drop their children off at work.
Yeah.
And then they go to work. So they're inside an inside house. They go to the inside car. They go to an inside workplace. And then they come home at night, back to their car, back inside. And it's only, for example, the weekends they get outside, right? So it's a real problem.
Which is normal nowadays.
Well, it's very normal. And say both the parents are working or whatever, it makes life extremely difficult.
Yes.
So it's a matter of having a what I call a work-life balance. So if you can negotiate with your employer to start, I don't know, 9:30 or 10 a.m. or whatever it is, and the thing is, when you have more energy, and again, coming back to the circadian sleep cycle, see, I actually get up about 12:30 a.m. at night. I go to the bathroom because, especially for men with their prostate glands and women with their Skene's gland, which is what most people don't know about, is you need to release the pressure. So you shouldn't be sleeping for 8-9 hours with a full bladder, right? You need to go to the bathroom. And then people should actually go out and get the moon and the stars. And then I actually pray. I pray for about half an hour at night time, right? So when you and a few nights ago, actually, which is why I built my energy, because you see, you actually heal during the day, not at night, which is what the professionals tell you, heal at night. That's a load of rubbish. It's not true. You actually heal during the day when you have the energy in your body, because then your spirit body at nighttime leaves your body. And if you like, I'll also teach people about astral traveling, so people can actually leave their bodies further than the 60 to 80 centimeters that most people sit away from their bodies before when they sleep. And then when they awake, the spirit body jumps back into their body, right? So you only exist when your spirit body permanently disconnects from the human body. You're no longer alive, right? So the spirit energy is everything. That's what I'm saying. Live in the spirit within, not within the physical within, and think more of yourself as a spiritual person, not a physical person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the physical needs are so important, right? So I would stay away from, it's, for me, it's obvious, but for many it's not obvious, right? So for example, wheat is not a natural grain. It expands 7 times in your stomach. I wouldn't touch it. Wheat. I wouldn't touch. It's also got glyphosate in it, which causes cancer. I wouldn't, have any bad oils like seed oils, for example. I wouldn't buy mainstream food from mainstream shops. So I'd buy it from small local farmers. So it's fresh and local, right?
Yeah.
But if they have a capacity to do that, then that's extremely important, right? And buy local, buy fresh, and that's one of the most important things I can teach people. But at the same time, it's a matter of, you see the highest, the purpose of mankind is to ascend to the light.
Yep.
To become a light being, right?
Yes.
Which is what I'm in the process of doing. So it's not being a rich marketing executive. That's not the meaning. It's not the purpose of life, right? So you can't take the digital money with you when you pass away, can you? You can't take all your physical possessions when you pass away. Based on your weights of your good things you've done in life versus the bad things, we're all measured and weighed.
Yes.
But actually, every single thought and every single thing we say and every word we speak is actually recorded below our heart space and played back to us if and when we pass away. Because I know, because I've been there, passed away, and I've come back. So it's played to you like in what I would call like holographic videos that you see and you watch yourself like in real time when you were like 4, 5, 6, 7, and it goes through your whole life. Say you pass away when you're 60 or 70, for example. And it goes through your whole life of the good things you've done and the not so good things you've done, right?
Your life flashes in front of you.
Well, it's more than a flash. It would take a long time again to extrapolate and go through all these videos to the played for you.
Yes.
And then we're all judged by the great 42 spirit gods that are billions of years old below it, right? Because there's a God hierarchy. There's the Master Lord God 1, and then there's that controls all the universes, and there's Lord God 9 that controls our solar system, for example. So numbers are not what people think. There's so many things that people, don't quite fully comprehend, right? So which is interesting. But again, coming back to the physical, if people can even spend even 15 minutes on the beach, getting out in the sun, for example, or just in their backyard, and they put their bathers on, for example, you see, most people walk around with a lot of energy in their heads because your head's always exposed to the sun and the moon, right? And they don't get the sun and the moon on the rest of their body. If you think of a magnet and you block a magnet in the middle, it doesn't get the energy. And another important thing I need to add to that too is Lycra will block energy, and so will the color black. And I know that for a fact because I saw a client a few days ago, and she was wearing these Lycra pants, and she didn't feel the energy from me, which is very powerful these days, in her legs. But then she put my happy pants on, and she instantly felt the energy in her legs. So that was the Lycra and black. So I'd stay away from black colors because black is not a color. Whereas you look at the rainbow, black is not. It does not exist in the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, white, indigo, violet, rainbow. Which is why you can see that all colors vibrate at different frequencies. So when coming back to the sun and the moon, when people get out on the sun and the moon, they'll get more powerful, right? But again, when you wear sunglasses, your body thinks it's nighttime. And you don't get the light in your eyes, so then people actually don't produce the melanin you need to protect your skin from the sun. So you get serotonin from the sun and melatonin from the moon. So people should comprehend this. So then, as I said, the sun and the moon are balanced perfectly, so the earth water stays in place on planet Earth. But there's only 4 planets that are what I call free will planets in our whole Milky Way galaxy. And there's billions and billions of stars and millions and millions of planets, and there's probably about 1 million Earth-like planets just in our Milky Way galaxy alone, right? So with the sun, as I said, the sun is getting more powerful, right? The sun, and he's actually alive. So because we've moved in a far more electromagnetic zone. So with the sun and the moon, once you actually appreciate the sun, and thank the sun, because the sun is a sun god, right? Yes, is a sun being. So as I said, the same with the moon and the earth, right? Mother Earth. So again, yes, grounding's important, but it's also the thought process that go behind it, right? So you can get the sun and moon all you like, but if you don't thank the sun, if you don't thank yourself, if you don't look after yourself mentally and saying the right thoughts in your mind, which are mantras, and again, it's coming back to mantras and the thoughts around eternal love, around the love within. Yes, and coming back to eternal wisdom and eternal power, which are the 3 God manifests, right? So you manifest each one with atonement, which is at one at a time. And the Buddhists worked that out thousands of years ago, right? So with the sun, that's so important for people's health. It's the right diet for people's health. It's the right thoughts for people's health. It's the right things you do to maintain longevity, as I said, to become like of the light. And I can assist people if they come to see me. I'll help them online or face-to-face. I'll assist them massively. You see, it's not so much what I don't know, people can ask me, it's better probably because I know so much across such a broad spectrum. People can ask me specific questions and I'll tell them what the answer is and why it is so, rather than me just carrying on and saying so many things, not just from a financial perspective or a legal perspective for legal protection, but also for physical protection. So, for example, I know white magic words. So I'll say, for example, white magic words that keep me safe at night time. So I won't have negative dreams. Other things actually most important for people's health is to learn how to separate astral travel from their bodies. And if you're happy, I'll teach people about that as well.
I think we're not going to go in that deep because what we're trying to do today is to help everyday people to optimize their health. And I want to stick to like how they can optimize their health in everyday life. What herbs they should be taking for their brain health, for their gut health, for the overall energy. Like
Absolutely. So sure. So as I said, you see, people are not going to absorb any vitamins, for example, if they don't have the right probiotics in their stomach.
Yeah.
People can take powder probiotics, as long as they want. It's not going to work, right? It's just like there's only 2 people in Australia that actually produce and sell the right liquid zeolite, for example, that helps to remove nanobots and other things. It's the same with, you actually need a liquid probiotics. And there's a lady up here that actually makes them. So I purchased those from her at some local markets. So if you can find someone, it's like a kombucha based. So it's brewed with, this probiotic is brewed, and people can look this up online, right? They can find someone that I'm sure some good people in their areas are doing it, right? So because it's like a kombucha base, and it's got the vitamins and the probiotics in there and the natural things you need for your stomach, so you can process all your vitamins. Because if the stomach is not working properly, and if people have what I call, a lot of people have a leaky gut, or they have their gut has what I call pockets in them, right? So people can do several things. It sounds a bit silly, but it's not actually silly. Either you hang yourself upside down from like the monkey bars when people were younger, for example, or you bounce up and down on a trampoline, which is going to start to shake the stomach out, so that then it starts to fall back in line again, right? Because say if you've got a pocket, the food can collect in the lower intestine, for example, not so much the small intestine, and then the food can get trapped there for weeks, if not months, and it can then infest. And as you said, it's going to cause massive problems.
Yes.
But the body is highly intelligent. So, for example, cancer, for example, is mainly caused by parasites or heavy metals.
Yes.
So for parasites, I'll explain a parasite detox. That is wormwood tea, feverfew tea, star anise, and cinnamon. So if people drink those alone and just boil that with water for 5 minutes and drink that for 2 months, they're going to get rid of the parasites. Because the wormwood and the feverfew will get rid of them, but then you need the cloves as well. And that'll basically destroy the eggs. So, for example, let's say someone has a cancer. Let's say, I'll go back just quickly, but then I'll move forward with other things. So the body's very clever. It accumulates toxins into what I call small cysts. So it basically saves the rest of the body. So the body is not going to collapse and die, because it's obviously, it tries to save the human. So toxins, as I said before, I mean, I remember years ago, I did a massive cleanse of my brain space and of my whole body system. And I'm not joking when I say I had probably 50 what I call pustular lumps on the top of my head, and I freaked out a bit, but it was only there for about a few days, because then they all released, and all these mega toxins just came out of my brain. But I did like a full detox with everything. It was not just the wormwood tea and other things. It was also the heavy metal detox. So for heavy metal detox for people's health, you need bamboo charcoal, You also actually need a THC oil because they put those plants, for example, around the Fukushima reactors. And after 9 months or 6 months of in the soil, it cleansed the soil by 99% of the radioactive waste went from the soil into the plants. They burnt the plants. So when you have THC oil, it attaches to the heavy metals that comes out of your body system, right? So it's the same sort of thing.
Yep.
But you don't need a lot. It's just like you don't need a lot of bamboo charcoal.
Yes.
But these types of things, as well as your parsley and your corianders, are going in your zeolite, it's going to attach to the heavy metals and it's going to come out of your body, right?
Yes.
Because those two things are really not good for a human's health, if those things make sense. So for your teeth and your bones, let's just come back to that for people. You're going to need things like inulin, which is agave powder. You're going to need celery. You're going to need slippery things, just like silicon plant-based foods, which is like your okra, aloe vera, your zucchini, your squash, cucumbers. These types of things are what I call silicon-based plant foods, and these are so significant for a person's diet. But then we should eat the winter foods and the summer foods, and people should comprehend that there's those two different main seasons when people can either eat their food choices as to what they're going to eat. You see, most vegans I know are actually iron deficient and they're anemic, right? So that's why they desperately need the right probiotics. They need they need sarsaparilla tea.
Yes.
Sarsaparilla tea, but they also need kakadu plum extract because that's the highest thing in good vitamin C you can consume. Because you're not going to absorb the sarsaparilla root, the iron in that. But again, you get iron from cacao powder and cocoa, as I said before. So iron is so significant, as is zinc and trace elements of copper, for example.
Yes.
So you need to get those blends of those vitamins and the 12 elements of the vitamins into our body systems, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's like related to the body and stuff. Do you have any protocol that people can use for just for everyday optimizing their health? Like every day, like they can drink something that will keep them flushing out toxins or stuff like that?
Well, yes, but I have designed something for my clients which does help, but I'm not going to give them my recipe, right? Because that's my recipe. But there's so many herbs. We see
any juices or something that you can
yes, for sure. But the thing is with herbs, you see some people have high blood pressure.
Yes.
Some people have low blood pressure. So if people got low blood pressure, they have to increase it with licorice root powder, for example. But you see, there's two things that stop blood clots, and that to me is obvious, but it's cinnamon powder and licorice powder. But if they take the licorice powder, that could increase their blood pressure too much. So really, I don't want to outline and say, take these 20 herbs because it really is dependent on each specific person.
Yeah.
Whether, for example, they're carrying too much weight or they're too slim. Or, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I can say, I know 400, 500 herbs, right? I've studied them for 10, 12 years more. But you see, I've listed quite a few already, but if people come to see me and if people are poor, I'll help them for a donation, right? But normally everyone's different with what they know and what they comprehend. So yes, I wouldn't, for example, I don't believe in dairy pasteurized milk, for example. So I just don't consume milk because it can cause mucosis and other things. And it's also got the bacteria and stuff in there. So I don't, for example, consume that. So it's probably more so where I'd eat the fresh fruits and vegetables. I do my morning vitamin shake, which I've explained before. And then as I said, I'm basically a pescatarian. So it's not so much a shake or a drink that I would drink, but I have designed a zinc and copper electrolysis elixir that I'll get you to try today. And that's like drinking a saline solution because you technically need the salt, a good salt for your kidneys. The other good thing for your kidneys is actually kidney beans because it's shaped exactly like your kidney. So there's not actually any sort of shake I could sort of recommend, but the ones I can recommend is probably definitely like a liquid kombucha, like
Yeah.
like the probiotics.
That you can buy in the farmer's market that's locally made, not like the
Absolute-
manufactured stuff.
Absolutely, and we need those good probiotics every day
Yes.
because some people, you know, and again going back to basics, you don't need to drink 10 liters of water a day. If you actually drink too much water, it actually can kill you, right?
Mm.
If you eat too much nutmeg, it can kill you, right? If you eat too many chilies, it can kill you. If you drink too much alcohol, it can kill you.
Yes.
If you take too many pharmaceutical drugs and they interact with each other, like it can kill you, right?
Yes.
But I'm just saying, you don't. Everyone's different with their choices in their life, right?
Yes.
So as to what you choose to eat and what not to eat. So as I said, you've got those two schools of thought with the carnivore and the vegan, and I'm probably somewhere in the middle. So I do the pescatarian with the fish,
Yeah.
and occasionally eat chicken, but that's about the extent of it. But really, what it is fresh is best, right? Fresh is best.
Processed food, you just cut it out.
Processed food has so many chemicals in there.
Packaged.
It's packaged. Sometimes you're better off eating the cardboard than the actual product that you're probably going to consume, right?
Yeah, that's true. What are your thoughts about meditation?
You can meditate on a mountain for 10 years and get nowhere. Or you can meditate for half an hour on the right thoughts and mantras that I teach them online course, for example. See, it's the right thoughts that is everything, right? It's the right thoughts on by Lord of Light. It's the right thoughts about love, power, and wisdom, as I said before, and manifesting one of those one at a time. So meditation, yes, but you have to have the right intentions and you have to be in the right, not frame of mind, but yes, meditation is so critical. But then also there's energy poses I teach as well, because there's certain, for example, you put your hands up here, and then you cross one of your legs. That's actually an energy pose right there, because you get the energy in, because the energy sits not only physically within your body but around your body. So I feel like I'm 6'10", right, 7 foot, because my energy space is so big and broad.
Aura.
And your aura actually sits at your very periphery. So when I put my hands out like this, I can feel the energy so much more. When I put my hands up like this. So when people learn about real energy and they look at the sun and the moon through a refractive index window, for example, that I've shown it, and some things online, you'll see that there's 4 major energy points that come out come out from here like this, and it comes out from your hips like that, like in the 4. So it's not just, you see, you can meditate as long as you want, but again, you've got Muslims, for example, that pray north, and for the average person, they may not believe in religious stuff. That's okay, right? That's fine. But as I said, you get to a stage in your life, and if they're in a state of unwellness, then the disease can exacerbate itself from an incorrect thought process. For example, if people say, "Oh, woe is me, I'm so poor, I'm going to stay poor forever." Well, yes, if you keep saying that, you're going to stay poor forever. But if you keep on manifesting, same with your health. If you keep manifesting, and then they have labels for these diseases to say you've got, this disease and this disease and this disease. If you say you've got diseases, then you will be in a dis-ease state. So it's coming back to meditation. Yes, it's significant. Excuse me. But you have to meditate on the right things.
Yeah.
But you focus on, as I said, you can't focus on 10 things when you meditate. You focus on one thing. One thing, and you achieve that, and then you move on to something else, because you can't achieve 10 things in a meditation prayer. You just can't. You got to achieve one thing at a time.
Yeah. So Michael, I think like if we can stay here and talk like forever, because you have so much knowledge. And I will add your course link on it, so people, if they want to study, they want to go deep into this knowledge, definitely they can reach out to you and then purchase your course and everything they need to know, or they can talk to you first and get some insight. If they want to have any energy healing, your contacts and everything will be added into the description. And feel free. He does online as well. He's not only you have to visit him, but he can do online energy healing. I've got it done while I was in Melbourne, and you can talk to him. He's very easy. He's not like somebody not gonna talk to you. He can help you out, but everything also comes with knowledge, and he does help people who can't afford energy healing sessions. But I also like to support him because he does help a lot of people, and I think sometimes energy exchange is really important. And I like to help Michael any way possible. That's why I wanted to do podcast with him, because I know he got a lot of knowledge and he can help people out in a lot of different ways, not only energy healing, but also with his knowledge about herbs, detox processes, elixirs. And I think it's important to bring people like Michael forward so he can also help people out there, because there's always modern Western medicine, but there's also traditional medicine, which I always believe in. And I think it's very hard to change my mind according to my knowledge and my experience in life, that you got to keep a balance. You just can't focus on one side of the story. You always have to balance with another story. So I tend to gravitate more towards traditional medicine, and even I've learned since I was a kid in India as well, getting honey and cracked pepper before bed for mucus and all the stuff. So I've learned from my grandma, and I always believe in that. And I think that's why I gravitate more towards Michael, always talking to him. And Michael has a lot of knowledge, not only in healing and medicine space, but also old knowledge about uh, out of this world thing. I don't want to say too much out here because I don't want to get shadow banned or anything, but he knows a lot of things that's happening around the world and traditional past lives and realm from other world. So I think I'll just leave it like that here. Michael,
That's
before we wrap up, do you have any message for people?
absolutely. I just wanted to give a special invitation for your clients today, if you're happy to do that. So, as I said, I normally the investment fee for my online course, because it is normally 2,880, but for your listeners today, they can choose to pay either 880 or 444, right? So it's a massive discount. So the best place you take a few $1,000s off of the course. So if they mention this podcast, they can get my online course for a massive discount, right? So, because as I said, I just want people to learn. I want people to learn more. And it's not so much about the mega money for me. It's about opportunities for people.
Yeah.
To learn about what I can teach them in that course. As I said, it's like talking to me for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And Michael can give this course for free, but he won't do it because if you're not paying for something, you're not going to acknowledge it and respect it. And that's the whole reason he's giving a heavy discount, because he wants to create a bigger impact. But also, he also would respect people respecting his knowledge. So that's exchange is, I think, is relevant in this course. And it's a lot of in-depth knowledge in it. And he will also add extra on top of it if you need that you think is not in that course. So he can always help you out. And that's the reason he put a price on it, because he has done in the past give people this course for free, but they don't respect it. So we need to respect this course because it's something that he has learned. He has spent years behind it. So that's why.
Thanks, Harry. Really appreciate that.
All right, Michael, I think that would be a wrap up for the day.
Totally
And I'm really grateful and thankful for your time today. And for sure, if somebody reach out to you, I'm pretty sure that you will help them out in any way possible.
Absolutely.
And if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me, and I can always link you guys with Michael. And he's in Sunshine Coast in Pacific Paradise. If somebody's around here, if you need help, energy, healing, any knowledge you need, anything, somebody's going through any stuff, please reach out to Michael. And yeah, so that's us today, and I'll be back with another amazing guest with different topic. So hopefully you enjoy this episode, and until then, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.